Hey guys, Fat Man's back again. Had to go to work for a little while, got home, figured I would dig into this Marlin a little more. As I looked at the stock, I will say they did one thing really nice. This hole right here in the stock doesn't belong there, but it looked like it belonged there. I was surprised. They drilled and countersunk that hole to fit this screw, which again, if it had been a flathead, would have looked like it belonged there. But they screwed the stock back together, which was, a really good idea. So I got to give them a little credit. Aside from the ugly, ugly glue job, which could probably all be sanded down. I mean, the stock is solid, and use a little wood filler, and you might be able to, clean it up enough to use it. I will say that they did that screw bit was a good idea. So I'm just going to call this a whole Marlin Model 60 restoration. I have a tendency to buy junk guns and make them work again. Kind of one of my hobbies. But anyway, I said in one of my earlier videos on my last Marlin, or my Glenfield, that there were screws holding the action in. And I said the newer version is pinned in, and this is one of them that's pinned, being that this was made in 1990. My other one was made in 1978? I don't know, I'm kind of stupid sometimes. But the pin on the back just pushes out. Pull it out, better set it with everything else. Lift up your action, and it slides under a pin in the front here. So the action is out. Now this one, the thing sticking up is your bolt hold open, which looks like it should work. But I can see, just looking at it, that I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, but the feed throat right here has been pushed out somehow. I don't know how, but the lifter spring has been bent in. It was bent right here, and down where it hooks to the lifter is bent as well. So I'm going to dig a little bit. I should have another feed throat, which was a problem on an old Glenfield. I may be able to straighten that out, but I'm not going to put a lot into it. Not a lot of faith into that one. The feed throat comes as a kit with the throat, the lifter, and the spring for 25 bucks, and I can buy that locally. So, worst comes to worst, I got a few dollars into the gun. I'll have all said and done, aside from some time. I gave 10 bucks for the other stock, which wasn't even really 10 bucks, it was some corn. I picked up some sweet corn for the guy. So we had some sweet corn, and I like to barter, remember? And the gun, I'm going to call it, 20 bucks into the gun itself, another 10 into the stock, put another 25 into the feed throat. I got $55 into it. Can't really go wrong for a shooting 22. But otherwise, the rest of it is exactly the same as the Glenfield. Lift a little and you take the charging handle out. Again, you want to keep it as straight as you can coming out with that bolt, so you don't kink that spring, because it's exactly the same spring. The bolt is the same. Now there's some dings on this bolt. I don't know. This thing has got some dings on it that I'm just not sure how they would have gotten there. But it screams abuse to me. Pretty big time. So, I don't know, I'm going to clean up the action as best I can. I'm going to try to sand some of these dings out, because really it's the receiver itself is just painted. So I want to take some of the dings out of that. The bluing on the barrel is beautiful yet. There's no rust, no pits, no nothing on it. So I'm going to leave that intact as much as I can, but I want to straighten out the receiver, make it look nice. It's going into a decent stock, you know, and it's still glued up and drying. So we'll set the barrel and action aside, and we're going to take this apart, and this will come apart exactly like the Glenfield did, just with these two circlets. And the other circlip, there's another circlip right here that just holds in the bolt hold open, which has a spring on it. I'm going to have to see now. The wiggle. Oh, I forgot something, didn't I? Let's get our wire. Stick our wire in and decock this. That's why it's not coming apart like it should. There we go. And then it pops right apart. So there's that. The feed throat, lifter. You can see how they bent that there. That does not bend that way. That spring is supposed to be bent over. It was not. They said it wasn't ejecting, and that's why it's not ejecting, because this spring is your ejector. And I don't see any cracks in this feed throat. By God, it's bunged up. Somebody was taking a screwdriver to it. I don't know how people can. Some people should not disassemble their guns. You can see right over here where somebody took a screwdriver to it. That's terrible. I should be able to file out the damage there and make that usable. Otherwise, I'll just go and buy a kit. It's not a big deal. So this has, on the sear here, the sear spring is bent too. Oh, it's filthy in here too. See, that's bent. It's not supposed to be like that. It has the extra spring for the bolt hold open. Most of the parts themselves actually look like they're okay. I didn't wreck any of those anyway. Let's get that buffer off. I'll lose it in a minute. So your disconnector on the newer one, the pin that holds your disconnector in, is pressed in. So I would have to, I don't know, knock it out and figure something else out. I would probably try to grab a pin off an older Glenfield that should work just fine. But we'll see. There's a lot of, feels like some pretty fine sand. So I don't know where this gun has been, and frankly, I don't care. Pop this one off for the bolt hold open. I'm not real concerned about the bolt hold open working. Might be cool, but I really don't care. I count my rounds, so it doesn't matter too much. And I'll clean all this up. Yeah, it looks like somebody's tried to, I don't know, tried to do something to that lifter. I'll dig through my stuff and see what I got. bolt hold open is straight. Looks like everything is there. We just have some parts that are defunct. So I'm going to get to it, dig out what I have. Everything will go back together just like the Glenfield, so you can refer to those videos if you want to. I'm just pretty much, I'm going to clean everything, get it all spotless. I am going to do a little reworking on the bolt because it's really rough, and I can see on the top where it's been riding in the receiver, and it shouldn't be showing that wear, but there's a lot of bad things on there. I want to take the firing pin out because that channel is dirty as all get out. That firing pin should move pretty freely and it doesn't. So I probably will have to drive that pin out, which is a bitch because it's press fit. So we'll get back with you as soon as I got all these parts cleaned up, and maybe we'll show you how to put it back together, maybe not. I got those other Glenfield videos. Those are going to be the same deal except for that bolt hold open. If it wasn't for that, it would be exactly the same process. So I'll get with you a little later. I don't know, I'm probably going to make this part of its own. But there's kind of a little overview of this Model 60 that I picked up pretty cheap. So stay safe, God bless, and we'll catch you next time around.